Hi, it's me, David H, and I'm going to look at the best foods to cure cancer, or can they really cure cancer? At least the best foods, anti-cancer foods, should we say? Okay, let's have a look and move on. I'm going to look at the foods themselves, and then can you use the supplements and the pharmaceuticals instead of the foods? We'll look at that. And then I'll finish off with concluding the video and give an overview of what I've discussed. Okay, I suppose I need to start off really, first of all, by giving a health warning, is to say that you should discuss anything medical with your own professional advisor, your doctor, your GP. First of all, no food totally protects against cancer. That's the first thing. You see, the term sort of cancer fighting foods, it's really referring to foods that when you actually include them in your diet, in someone's diet, they may help reduce the chance of acquiring or developing cancer. So this video is really looking at the most effective cancer fighting foods, and also to look and discuss the evidence and research behind the claims, because there's been lots of different researches carried out that substantiate some of these claims, to be fair. You see, several foods have naturally occurring chemicals within them with powerful anti-cancer effects, including, and I'll start with the first one, apples. You see, the saying an apple a day keeps the doctor away is so true in many senses. Apples are high in polyphenols, which may have anti-cancer qualities, and you see polyphenols are naturally occurring substances found in plants, and it may help reduce inflammation, cardiovascular disease and infection. So you see, according to some of the research, polyphenols, they may have this anti-cancer and fighting tumours capabilities. As an example, the polyphenols fluoretin inhibits the activity of a protein called glucose transporter 2, GLUT2, which is involved in the advanced stages of cell proliferation in certain types of cancer. Now, according to one study that I looked at, and this was published in the Journal of Food and Drug Analysis, the apple fluoretin dramatically suppresses breast cancer cell proliferation while having no effect on normal cells. So, pretty important. So, yeah, apples, big one, and that is not apple pies, by the way. So, sorry about that. It's fresh apples, as they should be eaten. Right. Moving on next, we're looking at berries. Berries themselves, I mean, they're a good source of lots of things, vitamins, minerals, and the big one is fibre. But due to the antioxidant characteristics and the health advantages, you see, there's been a lot of research taken on berries, and one that I looked at, one study, the anthocyanin, a chemical found in blackberries, reduces the indicators for colon cancer. Now, an additional study that I looked at come up with blueberries, anti-inflammatory properties that they have, and they can inhibit the formation of breast cancer tumours. Now, this is the other thing. A lot of these researches are carried out in mice. Now, they do work, these researches, and they are credible, but as I say, we have to bear this in mind that they are carried out on mice. The next one is vegetables, and when I say vegetables, the cruciferous vegetables. Now, as you may or may not know, I'm a big believer in the ketogenic diet. I follow a keto way of eating, and this is one of the big things I go on about the keto diet, is that they include a lot of these cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, kale. See, they're really high in vitamin C and K, as well as manganese. The cruciferous vegetables also contain sulforaphane. It's an anti-cancer plant component that reduces the cancer cell development and promotes cell death in colon cancer cells. That's from one study that I looked at. There's lots of other studies. Now, all the studies I've used, I've actually put the links below in the description, because this is one of the dangers, I think, with channels like my own and various other ones, is that you can really say anything you want, and some people will take this as advice. I'm not advising, I'm pointing out, but a lot of these, you need to look at what the research is or has been used before making any decisions on whether to take notice of a video. Okay, so moving on, just clearing that bit up there. Another study actually found that combining sulforaphane and genistein, a chemical found in soybeans, can greatly suppress the development and growth of breast cancer, the tumours, and also sulforaphane suppresses histone deacetylase. And one of the other problems with all these words is they're always quite difficult to pronounce. But anyway, an enzyme associated with the development of cancer. Now, according to one review that I looked at, they say, and this is the where it differs so much depending on which review and which research that you look at. You see, if you have 3 to 5 servings, that's what's recommended every week, and consume at least 1 serving of cruciferous vegetables for the best cancer preventative effects. This is where you see on a ketogenic diet, you don't just have 1 or you don't just have 3 or 4. You usually have 6 or 7. I tend to have broccoli or cauliflower just about every day, to be fair, with the main meal. But that's something else. I do believe a ketogenic diet is very good. Now, this is something that isn't in a ketogenic diet as much. You can have some if you really want to, but not too many. Carrots, you see, they're naturally high in their own sugar. But carrots, they're also high, very high in vitamin K, vitamin A, and antioxidants. You see, carrots also, they have the high concentration of beta-carotene. This is the thing that gives them the orange colour, and it's absolutely true. If you eat too many carrots, it's not about the eyesight, you will actually go orange. It's true, is that? You have to eat a hell of a lot, but okay. Some of the research that I looked at, it does show that beta-carotene it's absolutely critical for immune system support. So it can help some types of cancers. One of the studies, I looked at over 8 on this actually, the beta-carotene may help reduce breast and prostate cancer. So it's really important for men and women. Mind you, men can get breast cancer as well, so don't dismiss that, men. It's, you should check all parts of your body, we all should. Now, another study found that increasing carrot consumption results in 26% in the chance of acquiring or developing stomach cancer. So, these are pretty big percentages, I would say. And when they all come up together, I think it can make a big difference to yourself. Now, the next one is fish that are fatty fish, really important. But that's not the fatty fish that you get from the fish and chip shop I don't know, in the batter. No, this is fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, mackerel, and anchovies. They're all fatty fish that are high in crucial nutrients such as vitamin B, potassium, and omega-3 fatty acids, really important. Now, one of the studies says that you should consume freshwater fish, most the likes of salmon. I'm not going to the sea, but salmon and sardines. No, you don't get sardines, do you, in the freshwater? But no, freshwater fish. If you consume, you will have a 53% lower risk of colon cancer than those who consume no freshwater fish. So it's a bit of a difficult one, really, because I think you can't eat fish every day, but you should certainly be included in part of your diet, because another study showed that if you eat fish oil or have fish oil later in life, it's associated with a much lower chance of prostate cancer. Obviously, with men, as we get older, we're all very much susceptible to prostate cancer. So it's really important to have your fatty, oily fish. Now, another research, and this was a big research. Some of these are, I think it's quite limited with the numbers, but this is one that had nearly 70,000. They looked and they discovered that those who took fish oil supplements at least 4 times a week had over 60% lower risk of developing colon cancer than those who did not take the supplements. That's a massive amount, and a big up really for saying that you should take your supplements. Now, not all supplements are equal. Do not buy the cheap. I'm sure you've got the equivalent in America. In the UK, there's the pound shops. I don't know if you have the dollar shops in America, but if you're going to buy supplements that cost you $1 or £1, are they going to be the same as the ones that are priced a bit more? No, they're usually not. They're full of rubbish or poor quality ingredients. So, don't buy cheap rubbish supplements. I'll actually put a link in the description to some good sources for you to have a look at. It's entirely up to you, but they are good sources of good quality supplements. Now, the next one is walnuts. Walnuts, you see, according to, and this is the reason I've included this one, because it's from the American Institute for Cancer Research, so quite a big one here, say that all nuts have anti-cancer qualities. But you see, this is the thing, scientists really always concentrate the research on walnuts. Walnuts contain pedunculagin. I don't know if that's how you say it. It's really difficult to say some of these words, but which the body converts to urolithins. Urolithins are estrogen receptor binding chemicals that may help prevent breast cancer. Another in one study, mice fed whole walnuts and walnut oil had significantly higher levels of tumor suppressive genes than mice fed vegetable oil. So, I think there is the research out and there's lots more. We know we need to be eating these things. The next one is legumes. These include a high concentration of fibre. Now, fibre is really important anyway overall for our diet, but they may help reduce a person's chance of acquiring cancer if you eat things like beans, peas and lentils, all high in fibre, and they can reduce, as I say, your chance of getting cancer. Now, there's several meta-analyses. I looked over over 10 studies or 10 researches really on this, because there's the link between increasing your legume consumption and the decreased risk of a colorectal cancer is massive. An additional study showed the association between bean fibre consumption and the risk of breast cancer in another research that I looked at. Now, according to the study's findings, people who had a diet high in bean fibre had a 20% lower risk of developing breast cancer than those who did not achieve their daily fibre requirements. So you see, this fibre is a really important thing to have within your diet. Even if you're not following a ketogenic diet, you still do need to get your fibre in for lots of other reasons. But we're looking at cancer today. Now, supplements then. Can you actually use supplements instead of eating all this vegetable stuff that you maybe don't even like, or the fish that you don't even like? Okay, so looking at supplements and the pharmaceutical side of things, tablets and what have you. Right, while all the ones above that I've just mentioned, they're all over the place, and the supermarkets, you can go and buy them every day fresh if you want to. And also I will mention frozen. Frozen is okay. In some cases, frozen is actually better because they're picked and they're frozen when they're fresh. So don't dismiss frozen vegetables. Right, some may not like all these types of things, all these types of vegetables, they just can't eat them, which is fair enough. So if this is the case, there are numerous there's many supplements and drugs that contain anti-cancer substances, and they're easily accessible. The vitamins A, C and E, they're all known for their anti-cancer qualities and are readily available in supplement form. So where do you get them? Of course, they're all over. They're in the supermarkets, they're in the drugstores, they're online, they're all over the place. Again, I've put the links in the description for some good quality ones. Don't buy cheap rubbish ones. They really do not work, and you're not doing anything for yourself. Okay, so you see, you can get these supplements in tablet form, including ferritin, anthocyanin, and sulforaphane. So these are all available in tablets. In certain people, though, over-the-counter drugs such as aspirin and ibuprofen can also or may help reduce the risk of cancer. But I've got to point out, before you take any medication or even supplements, especially if you're on any medication for other conditions, you should discuss everything with your own medical professional, or your doctor, your GP, before changing anything like this. Now, to conclude, you see, cancer prevention research is still in its early stages, and we do need more testing and more development. Even though there's been massive strides made, I think we need to bear in mind that a lot of these researches are carried out on mice. There's a lot of human ones studying over years, and it is getting much better in the fight against cancer, but there's still a long way to go. But one thing that we do know is that if you eat a diet that's rich in, your fresh fruits, your vegetables, your cruciferous vegetables, and healthy fats, they can really benefit your overall health, but also help in the fight against cancer. And we all have to take some responsibility with our own lifestyle, because unfortunately this is quite I'll be quite cruel in some ways here, because you see, if we adopt a lifestyle that promotes, cancer cells, then the likelihood is you increase your chances massively of developing cancer. Most people who have cancer, or a lot, I will say a lot, have done so, get cancer by the very lifestyle that they have led. Now, this is not for everybody, don't get me wrong. This is and sounds a terrible thing to say. You know, when you look at children who haven't had the chance to have a bad lifestyle, childhood cancers, and people, you know, everybody knows somebody who's led the healthiest life that develops cancer, and that's when it does come to a cruel, really cruel twist of fate in life. But to finish on, we still have to take responsibility for what we put into our bodies. If you put the crap into your bodies, guess what will happen? Or the chances are increased massively. So take care of yourself a little bit. And on that note, I hope you've got something from this video. Check the research in the description. I've also put some links for some useful things that may help you. Have a look, they may or may not. In the meantime, if you've got something, as I say, from this video, subscribe, do the bell button and all that nonsense. Okay, and I will see you in the next video. From me, David H. I will wish you all good health, and bye-bye for now. See ya.